I found a journal from the future. Hello, my name is Dr. Mendez, and if you are reading this journal, then congrats, you have survived the greatest climate failure and success. It all began in the year 2100. Global warming had reached an all-time high, more and more people were dying from heat exposure. Temperatures started to raise to 115 degrees outside, and children no longer knew what a snow day was. It always gets worse before it gets better, and this was no different. The use of fossil fuels was still increasing even as the warning signs were blaring. The year 2110 was when it finally let loose. The temperature was a staggering 135 degrees outside. Just to step outside your house could spell a death sentence, but you know what they say, gotta go to work to make money. 1 million people died that day just trying to make ends meet for their families. Did that stop the companies from destroying the planet? Not quite yet. Everyone was still in denial, saying that those people could have died from anything. 2 days after the 135 degrees, the temperature dropped to 65 degrees, which made the denial grow even more. With a drop so drastic as that you cannot get by without consequence. Tornadoes rained down on cities, causing great devastation. It was the wind you could hear from around the world. Cities left in ruins, towns left demolished, millions dead from the destruction. Companies took a massive hit as well. CEOs were a part of that death toll, and many companies went bankrupt due to lack of workers and buildings. Finally, something snapped inside people's heads. This was real. This was very real. Was it too late to stop it by this point? Would the planet heal from all of this damage that we had caused? Those were the questions asked at the big committee. We would have to get to work now, and we would need drastic changes to survive this. One such suggestion was from a Michael Clark. He wanted us to continue like nothing ever happened. He argued that the huge death toll meant the environment would fix itself. Less people equals less fuel needed, therefore everything should be fine. We had some people who thought that his idea had some fruition, but for the science side of the committee he was laughed at. He did not like being the butt of the joke, took his stuff and headed back home. Unfortunately, he did not make it home that day. While inside the comfort of the building, outside had risen to 145 degrees. A scientist by the name of Lacey Ingrid suggested that we create cooling suits that would run 24/7, making us be able to go outside during drastic temperatures. In my opinion, not an awful idea for survivability, but not really one that would help the environment. Her idea was thought about, but it was voted against for not solving the overall problem. The committee would take a break where I would ponder my greatest idea, the one that will save the Earth. The very next day we reconvened. First up was a self-proclaimed Dr. Phil Trite. He suggested that the gods were angry with us and that all we had to do was make a sacrifice to the god of global warming. He then proceeded to go on an hour rant about how video games are the real devil. We should stop playing video games and all of those lewd shows on television. Those are to blame for this warm Earth. We need to round them up and burn them as an offering to the god of global warming, he proclaimed with full confidence. He was lead out of the building with a watchful eye. Finally, it came my turn to speak, where I laid out the plan that would save the world. It would take 100 years, so unfortunately we won't be alive to fully see the results. Step 1: we build a massive spaceship to house the survivors of the outburst of warming. The population over the years have seen a significant decrease. Where once there were billions, we now are in the 100,000s. Wars, famine, heat, destructive weather had almost destroyed the human race. Step 2 of my plan would be to build artificial bees to pollinate flowers. They would have to run automatically. You may not know what a bee is, for they went extinct in 2088. They are a small yellow insect that would buzz around pollinating flowers. Step 3 would require everyone to start planting seeds, trees, vegetables, flowers, you named it. Most of the people in attendance were very accepting of the plan, but we did have some outliers. It took 1 year of arguing and going back and forth for a plan to finally be picked. The Earth had seen some more drastic temperature changes, and now the spaceship would have to house fewer people on it. My plan was the best one we had. We took some existing spaceships, modified, and put them together to make some supership. The bees and planting, I wish I could say, were going smoother, but with fewer hands on deck it was a tough one to be sure. Over the course of the year we did build the temperature-controlled suits which let us go outside no matter the weather, but there was some difficulty with a group of people who believed the suits would give them cancer. Their group did not last long. It took another year to get everything in place, and the ship was ready to take off with the hope of humanity inside. I now write this from inside the spaceship. We have blasted off on the ship we named Hope. Generic, I know, but we have to do what we can to have people's spirits up. We all looked down on Earth as we were leaving, anxiety and stress running through our veins. Our work was not done, however. An idea proposed by a Dr. Sally Hillswaw was to build drones that would be able to go down to Earth to track climate control. I wish I could say everyone on the known world was on this spaceship, but, of course, we had some who wished to say and some who would still deny that anything was wrong. I wish them the best that life can offer them, but unlike the name of the ship, I have no hope for them. Another year has passed and the drones are finished. A test flight is planned in the coming months. I don't expect much to have changed. I still look longingly down to the home that we abandoned, wishing that one day I could set foot once again on soil. Even from space you can see certain parts of the planet that have been devastated. I am not a religious man, but even so I find myself praying the night away for those who have left, and for those who had stayed. The test flight was a success in that the drone made it to the planet and back, but, as predicted, not much has changed. The planet is still being torn apart by sudden weather changes. The drone could not find any of the humans that stayed, so either the worst has happened to them or they are hidden from the planet's fury. The drone flight is going to be set for a yearly event until we start to see changes. More drones are in the works to fix certain aspects of the planet. We have one drone in the works that can grab rainwater from clouds and spread it over some of the seeds that we have planted. Another drone is going to be able to track the bees that we have built to make sure they are doing their job. We have a series of drones planned to spread more seeds. It is a lot of work, but I have confidence we can save the planet. I write this now 5 years later. I am now 55 years old. I don't know how much longer I might have to live, and I have to start thinking about someone to take my place, take over this journal, and help save the planet. I have adopted a son and a daughter whose parents unfortunately decided to stay on Earth, denying the very existence of global warming. His sister grabbed him and snuck off to the ship in the middle of the night, saving them both. They are both very bright minds. I have taken it on my task to teach them both everything I know. The drone flights have not shown any noticeable change just yet. Another 10 years have passed. I am now 65 years old. My health is starting to decline, but the planet's is starting to rise. We sent down a drone to take temperature readings and it was staying at a consistent 100 degrees. Not the greatest, but a vast improvement over what we were having. My son Jake and my daughter Jill have shown great intelligence and strive to continue my mission once I am gone. No other human life has been found during the drone flight. I fear the worst for them, but also it was expected. I am dying. The year is now 2138, the year that I most likely die. I am now 75 years old. My body is brittle. The years away from Earth had taken its toll. This is my final entry. The Earth is looking better by each passing year, but still not enough to be inhabitable. The temperature will still sometimes rise to 145 degrees, but it's starting to happen less and less. I can feel the Earth's gravity pulling my spirit towards it, and I want to go. To feel the wind in my hair, the water on my feet, the sun on my skin. I hope that the next generation can experience all of that. To the future reading this journal, this is now Jake. My father was an amazing man, and I wish to continue this journal until the day we can set down on Earth. I hope the future reading this takes it to heart to never let anything like this happen again. The Earth is looking healthier, but much work must still be done, not by our hands but by the planet itself. Humans have messed with the planet enough. Think of it like your partner taking a break from you. I hope that one day before we die my sister and me can set foot on soil once more. The year is 2150. My sister is with child and the plan is looking promising. The next generation might be able to set foot once again on soil. It will be a different Earth than the one I knew when I was a child. Plants, animals, sea creatures, all will have to adapt it to surviving the destruction phase of the Earth's healing process. Who knows what types of creatures that we will be dealing with? As such, I have proposed a project to study the new ecosystem. We will send drones down to see what new creatures have spawned from such an event. The year is 2160. Certain animals have adapted to the change in weather by getting rid of their fur. Hairless apes now roam more frequently, lions with no manes, bears no longer hibernate. It is such fascinating events that I wish I could go down and explore. The other day we even thought we saw a human on frame, but it ran away at the sight of the drone. Could my parents have survived for the rest of their life? I wish nothing but the best for their final days. Buildings still stand, semi-tall vines growing over them, and some home to animals trying to get out of the sun. I sent a drone down to my old home, a high-rise apartment in New York. The apartment still stands tall as it always has, but now living inside some of the rooms are a group of hairless apes. My old room houses one of this groups, and I couldn't be more proud. The shifts in temperature are still happening, and the main committee still thinks we are 40 years out of being able to go back. I don't think I will live long enough to touch soil again. The year is now 2180. I am growing old just as my foster dad Dr. Mendez did before me. My nephew is growing to be a brilliant scientist as well, but I hope he can perform feats on the Earth itself. My sister is still going strong, but I fear her time is running thin as well. The Earth is looking healthier than maybe even more so than my childhood. The committee want to be safe and still wait another 20 years before touching down. We don't want to mess up the healing process and send the Earth into a downward spiral it will never recover from. The year is now 2200. My name is Hope Mendez and I have taken over this journal from my uncle. This journal will have no more entries soon, for we have finally touched down on Earth. My uncle and my mother unfortunately passed away, but not before finally touching soil again. The look of happiness on their faces was the only image I need to make sure we humans will stay on Earth this time. From what I have been told, my grandfather was a great man who made this happen. The Earth is healed, but for us humans to live on it we must still build and rebuild. We will build solar energy farms to house the energy of the sun. I heard in the past companies would charge for people just to live. No longer energy will be free from all, and will work together with the planet, not against it. We will use the cities that are still currently standing as housing and leave the forests alone. The old world has provided us with enough resources still available that we should not have to damage the earth. I can finally feel the soil beneath my feet and the sun on my face. For you in the future reading this, never forget the sacrifice that we went through to make the earth healthy again. The bees, the trees, the solar power, the windmills, everything is in place for a better future. Our earth must be protected, our earth must be healthy, our earth must survive for everyone, our earth is everyone's home, our earth must provide for us as we provide for it. For you in the future reading this, I leave you on one final note. I am Hope Mendez. If you ever need any hope for the future or for your life, just think of the brave souls who fought for your future aboard the Hope and my mom who named me after the hope finally coming to fruition and the future being secured. Remember, at any point the climate can shift due to human interference, and it is everyone's job to make sure we current it. This is the Journal of Dr. Mendez signing off for the last time.